Frankie is a once-in-a-lifetime dog. I'm Luke, and this is Frankie's story for GeoBeats. This is Frankie, and I rescued Frankie almost 15 years ago now from New Orleans, Louisiana, right after Hurricane Gustav. When the storm started to make landfall, a lot of animals became displaced, and I thought this is the perfect time to try to get an animal out of harm's way. I live halfway across the country. I connected with a local New Orleans rescue, found a picture of Frankie on their website. He was only 5 or 6 pounds, such a little fella. I was like, I gotta get this guy. I had him put on a plane and had him flown up to Ohio, which is where I was living at the time. I remember picking him up and hugging him and kissing him and saying, "You're home. I'm your daddy." We live in Houston, Texas now. He's almost 15 years old. He's deaf. He's arthritic. He still is playful. The rescue had actually named Frankie Playful. I already had a name picked out, but a year later I remember saying I should never have changed his name because Playful was perfect. Dino is also a rescue, and Dino was a very anxious dog. He lived on the streets for the first 9 months of his life. I saw Dino make such huge improvements over the course of the 10 years that I had with him, largely because of Frankie. He's just got that energy and that awesome spirit.
I know Dino is with me, will always be with me, but days like today especially, Frankie and I we just miss his physical presence.
Frankie used to be able to hear vets think that there may be a chance that he suffered some kind of mini stroke. And they said sometimes when dogs have that, if it's very mild, you won't even notice.
Morning, buddy.
The sad thing is he loved music. He preferred Bach cello music in the morning. I would play it for him every single day. And when it was playtime, I would always play a song called Ride of the Valkyries, opera song by Wagner. I would turn that song on, and even if he would sleep, he would flip his head up and take off running to his playroom and grab his toys. And he was so used to me talking to him, and he knew so many different words. So that's been a tough adjustment. He's only been deaf now about 3 years. I miss those things, and I worry that maybe he does too.
Hi, Frankie.
He loves to be wherever the people are. Every time we pass another dog, we pass a child, we pass an adult, he wants to go right up and say hi.
The best kisses.
And if he doesn't get to go up and say hi, he gives me that look. Like, "What's up, Dad? What are you doing?" So I'm trained. People enjoy it. I'm like, "Hey, nice to meet you. This is my dog. Can you please pet him too?" Because he's deaf now, he needs to have some physical contact. If he doesn't see me right away, he's like, "Where's Dad?" So I try to always give him some kind of physical contact just to give him comfort. As he's gotten older, he's developed more of a soulful, wise, elder statesman look. Even though his body is showing some signs of slowing down at 15, he's still really healthy. His breed is typically only supposed to live 10 to 12 years. We used to take an hour walk in the morning and another hour walk in the late afternoon. So I like to think that that's contributed to his longevity. July 5th is when we have traditionally celebrated his birthday. I think probably what we'll do is decorate the car and then drive around the neighborhoods and let everybody just come by and say hi and pet him. I think he would love that. He's had a good life, and that's the best that I can hope for. The funny thing is, I have flown in and out of that same airport 50 times since. And every time I pass by that area where I saw Frankie for the first time, I look over at that area and it makes me feel very emotional. I was just there visiting family in December, and I remember I made a purposeful trip over to that area just so I could soak it up for a minute. Sometimes I can get in one of those little funks and I'll just think, how am I ever going to survive without you, Frankie? He'll just be sleeping and I'll just go over and start hugging him and kissing him. He's like, "Dude, I'm sleeping. What are you doing?" I don't remember life before Frankie, and I don't want to imagine life without him. He'll always be my child, and he'll always be here. Even 20, 30 years from now, he'll always be here. And yeah.